project about the LA watershed, for which I created 3 different graphs along with an ArcGIS online web app. The first map that I made showcases the urban and natural areas of the watershed. This is a useful map for characterizing the different landscapes to users who are unfamiliar with the area. I chose to use a qualitative color scheme where this greenish yellow color corresponds to natural areas and this purple color corresponds to urban areas of the watershed. I also created a buffer surrounding the watershed and matched the color using a gradient fill for both of the regions in order to establish bigger ground. I also used a hillshade layer only in the natural area of the watershed, as there's most variation in elevation in this region, and also it lacks detail that is present in the urban area in terms of city points and road detail. In addition, in terms of labels and typography, I used a serif font for natural features and matched the color with the color of the feature itself. I also generalized this map in a small scale indicator map in order to showcase the extent. And to create this map, I significantly generalized this coastline, reducing the amount of detail in regions like this around Long Beach. The second map I made is an index of biological integrity map, which is a metric to determine the overall stream health. And so in order to convey that, I use a divergent color scheme where red refers to poor stream health and blue refers to good stream health. I also chose to maintain this buffer around the different regions in order to convey the public and natural areas, and I reduced detail like the city points. The third map that I made is a map of the species richness of native fish species and also the biological integrity. I found the average of the index of biological integrity scores for the different regions that were used to collect data of species richness for native fish species to easily compare across zones. I used a graduated symbol map to show the difference in native fish species richness, where a small fish icon corresponds to a low species richness and a large fish icon corresponds to a high species richness. And for this color scheme, I used a single hue color scheme so that it's less distracting and there aren't too many variables at play. I also created a wet map. On the left side, it shows ACS census racial demographic information, and the right side shows natural features of the LA watershed, including rivers and streams, as well as parks. And by toggling this slider, you can see that the makeup of the areas with parks currently are predominantly white. And so this map is helpful for locating avenues for the construction of parks to promote equitable access to the outdoors.